that can deliver clean water. And the point here is there are technologies available on an interim basis to get people clean water while you have the opportunity to do a thorough review and come through with a thorough plan. I was amused by the gentleman from Up Island. When we moved here 20 years ago and bought our place in Orient 12 years ago, but we were assured that the lot next to us was unbuildable. Well, guess what? This enormous mansion went up on there with no setbacks. So obviously, whatever process works in making things unbuildable doesn't really hold true, or if I may, hold water in these situations, right? Yeah. The trends in water quality.
Never believe a realtor.
Never been. Well, that's what we're doing, right? Okay. Trends in water quality. It's no secret that water quality in municipalities around the country is decreasing, right? The quantity and the quality of water is decreasing. Anything you read will tell you that. In fact, I have several papers here from the Health Department, drinking water quality monitoring programs put together by a consulting agency called Camp Dresser and McKee, very well-known consulting firm, writes on page 23 of task 7.2 dated February 4th, 2010, groundwater nitrogen levels increase in unsewered areas as housing density increases. So the gun is always pointed at agriculture, but the truth is the #1 contributor to groundwater contamination for nitrates is housing.
What?
Housing. Okay? And you can see that in the USGS Geological Survey as well. They also go on to say they have a table in circular 1292, 817, sidebar 8. Urban land use contributes more VOCs to groundwater than do other land uses. So I would ask you, as Western Suffolk continues to see the erosion of open spaces and farmland, how does it affect the quality of water being destined for Oregon? Do you know? Should we find out before we embark on this process? So I would ask you, in addition to taking a comprehensive plan, is to understand a structural issue that's faced by the water company, right? Because the same aquifers, and the gentleman from Hillcrest, I think identified it really well, right? The water's coming from East Marion, or it's coming from further west, but these are areas that are getting increasing density. And every study that we see, every single study, including the EPA, talks about density being the #1 contributor to aquifer pollution. So in closing, I'd like to reiterate that the financial situation of the water company requires to find more customers. We can deploy technologies in Orient, and the community is happy to chip in for people that are financially, that don't have the financial resources to get filters at this point in time. And there's structural issues with the source water quality that I would urge you to look at as you go forward. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen of the board, the ladies, and all participants here, of which we all are.
Just for the record, it's David Mudd Southwell.
David Mudd
Could you
Southwell.
speak into the mic, please?
Pardon?
Yes, the mic is
Oh, sure. I thought maybe I might be too loud. You're all talking about not wanting water, want water, and all the rest. And I'm sure you have this right in your hand now. This is the 08 thing about water in Long Island, in our area in Southold. At that time, we were importing 3.5% of our water from Riverhead. So everybody says we got plenty of water, you just keep pumping what you got until it runs out, and then you'll find out that we'll be pumping in from some other place. But just keep in mind, 3.5% of the water in Southold town now comes from Riverhead. Now I have a further draft here. It's called the SCWA Production Control Pumpage and Storage Statistics. I have the 03, 04, 05, and 06 pumpages. We happen to live down the road here on just short of Ackley Pond by Dorosky Nurseries. And the well closest to us is called Ackley Pond Lane. It first started out when Greenport Water owned the water company. It had one well point. After it was taken over by Suffolk Water, they have now put 2 more pumps in there. So we have 5 pumps in that little 5-acre area, and we're pumping out in 06,